We're okay. We're live.
Oh my goodness, we are.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this, our third industry interview. Tonight, I have actually the privilege of interviewing our MyTV co-founder and president, Kevin Allen Jackson. It's a privilege because I've known Kevin now for 7 years. We've been producing partners. I met Kevin when I was in dire need. Well, wait a minute. I met Kevin back in New York. We'll get to that in a second. But
Can I just interrupt you a second and tell you that it's impossible to have these headphones on and not feel like Terry Gross?
I'm not going to get into that.
I mean, I have a whole new respect for Rush Limbaugh, right? I mean, because that means that guy is either deaf and has his own radio show, or he just has a very high tolerance for the sound of his own voice. If he can talk that loudly with these headphones on, it's amazing.
Here, hold on. You want me to turn your headphones down?
No.
We have a knob here. We can turn your volume down if you'd like.
No, not at all. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So Kevin. Okay. I met Kevin in New York in grad school. Kevin is a director. He has been an actor. He studied both directing and acting. He has run successfully not-for-profit theater companies. He has produced and directed many off-Broadway shows, theater shows in New York. And since his arrival in Los Angeles, he has been an instructor at the Writers Boot Camp and is an award-winning screenwriter. And Kevin and I have collaborated several times now on some award-winning films ourselves.
That's
so
true.
So if there's any code signals being passed back and forth, it's because this guy and I know each other.
It's hard to believe that was me you were just talking about.
It is. So the reason why tonight we've decided to interview Kevin. Oh, wait, let me back up to the beginning, my intro. Why is it a pleasure?
I threw you off.
You did throw me off. Why is it a pleasure to have this opportunity to interview you? Because I realized in preparing for this evening that I haven't had occasion to speak to you in depth about the craft of screenwriting since
2005, probably.
2005.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's going to be an absolute pleasure to dive right back into this.
Oh my God.
First of all, I mean, I'd like to get started by understanding a distinction that is not so subtle anymore. It's not lost on me. What is it that makes screenwriting a craft?
Oh my goodness. Well, I would say that what makes screenwriting a craft is the same thing that makes any artistic discipline a craft, meaning that screenwriting is a specific thing. It has, there are specific components to it. You have story, you have character, you have theme, right? And you have to know how they all work together, what they all mean, how they function together to create your story. Just like a painter needs to know about color and perspective and light and the surface that they're painting on and things like that.
But can you separate the craft of would you call, let's say, a novelist or an essayist or a journalist, is that a separate craft unto itself?
Absolutely, sure.
Because
you're communicating the information in a completely different way. Because when you're writing for the screen, you are communicating ideas, emotions through character and behavior. I mean, you can only communicate to an audience what the character... They only learn about characters through what the characters actually do. Whereas in a novel, you have the latitude to explore the interior life of the character. I would say that's the major difference, for example.
Okay, so then just to clear up, for the sake of understanding that, someone who's, let's just say a good writer, not to put any other defining, just adjectives on there, just a good writer, you're saying that a good writer might have an idea for what he or she may feel is a good movie or TV show, and I understand they're two separate mediums, and we'll get into the distinctions of that if you'd like to later on.
Sure.
That writer should definitely learn about this particular craft because it's a whole different approach.
Absolutely, sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
I mean, look, if you're studying any type of writing with anybody who's worth their salt, it's going to be about process. And there are certain things that do cross over. I mean, it's not like you stop writing a screenplay and start writing a novel and all of a sudden you don't have to worry about character and conflict anymore. Those things are the same. It's just a matter of how do I communicate it in a way that's cinematic? How do I communicate it in a way that's filmic as opposed to prose?